A very pleasant afternoon to all. Today I, Garima Sardana, on behalf of National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, I heartily welcome you all to this live session that has been organized in furtherance of Pariksha Parv 7.0. This is an interactive session where we'll discuss the topic of exam-related pressure and anxiety that the students, their parents, their teachers go through during these times. It's a significant topic, exam-related pressure and anxiety that the students, their parents, their teachers go through, as this can take a toll over their mental health. Its significance has been taken note by our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji. And taking note of this, he has initiated the Pariksha Par Charcha program, where he discusses how this exam-related pressure and anxiety can be hindering their mental health and how the effects of this anxiousness, this nervousness can be mitigated. Being inspired by this, NCPCR has initiated Pariksha Parv 7.0 with the theme of celebrating exams. परीक्षा एक उत्सव है, इसे ऐसे लीजिए मानो एक त्योहार हो. To empower our students, the exam warriors, their parents, their teachers with this kind of mindset, today, fortunately, we have with us Dr. Ishan Shivanand. I extend a very warm and a heartfelt welcome to you, sir.
Thank you so very much, madam. It's a pleasure being here. My regards to Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. What he's doing is he's being a leader in terms of the field of education, because nobody is talking about this. Everybody understands stress is such a big problem, anxiety is a problem, especially students who are about to sit for examinations, and our government is taking note of the issue and providing solutions through this means. It's applaudable. So thank you for this.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Ishan Shivanand is a globally acclaimed Acharya, a Vedic educator, yogic scholar, and a mental health researcher. Through the creation of Yoga of Immortals, a set of revolutionary evidence-based meditation protocols, he has helped millions overcome trauma, mental health conditions, and even life-threatening situations, empowering individuals and communities to reclaim vitality and redirect to their life purpose. He has been globally recognized on various levels. I am extremely grateful to you, sir, that you've taken out time to join us today and enlighten us with the valuable and enriched experience that you have. Firstly, I would like you to introduce yourself in detail with our audience so that our audience can understand the scope of work, the scope of research that you've done.
So, madam, you can see me as an educator and a researcher. My work started with education. I'm an expert in Indian knowledge systems and non-pharmaceutical behavioral modification modalities like yoga and meditation. And my whole objective has been how to take these ancient traditions and make it applicable to the contemporary world. Because if I just ask an engineer or astronaut to do yoga as a rishi did it in the old times under a tree in a forest, it won't be conducive to their research. So we have to find out the core of those practices, the benefits of those practices, and how they can be applied in the modern world today. So the first objective was finding out those modalities that are actually useful and beneficial. Second was a rigorous scientific research, because when we are talking about mental health ailments, then the children that are suffering from mental health issues, or even the youth that are vulnerable or susceptible to mental health predicaments, we have to give them the correct intervention at the right time. We can't play with them. We can't overpromise and underdeliver. They have to be given something that can benefit them. And how we can actually make those protocols airtight is we do research. We do short-term research, mid-term research, long-term research to find out exactly how long the protocol needs to be practiced, where all the intervention, the input is needed in the children's life. And then we study, we do follow-ups. And then based on that rigorous scientific testing, we do the intervention implementation again. So that is our work. Education, research, and implementation. And that's what we've been doing around the world. Yes.
Well, that's quite a chalked out plan, and I hope that it's working wonderfully. What, again, I would like to know from you is, what is Yoga of Immortals, and how are you progressing with the work that you're doing with it?
So, Yoga of Immortals is that evidence backed scientific understanding of the Indian knowledge systems. Why I called it Yoga of Immortals is because if you look at the IKS, the Indian knowledge systems, you'll see that a lot of isms came out of these Indian knowledge system. Jainism, Buddhism, so many of the great Eastern religions came from Sanatan Dharma. And
Right.
there is a lot of knowledge hidden inside those scriptures. And the thing about knowledge is it's immortal. It can be lost for some time, but then once the human consciousness rises to a certain level, then it's rediscovered. I'll give you an example. The Greek culture had created such strides in mathematics, and when the Dark Ages came, all those knowledge was lost. But when human beings during the industrial age, their scientific curiosity again increased, then they rediscovered those principles. So the principles on mental health that India has given are those universally applicable immortal principles. So that's why I was inspired from this word Sanatan Dharma, which means eternal truth, this immortal truth. And from there comes Yoga of Immortals, which means the practice of this eternal truth that can easily be implemented into a high performing individual's life. And that's what Yoga of Immortal is. It is something that can easily be practiced, easily be integrated. In a way, you could call it an integrative health protocol that an individual can easily bring in their life. Yes.
Well, that's quite impressive. A very basic question I'm going to ask you: what, according to you, is mental health? Because mental health is quite a relatively newer concept for the people in India. We tend not to address mental health issues quite so often in our households. So, once I would like you to explain what do you mean by mental health, and why is it so important to give significance to the maintenance of mental health?
See, I love your question because there are few definitions of mental health. If we look at the traditional Indian definition of mental health, and that means a self actualized individual that has accessed his inner potential, that is living the best life that he is supposed to live. He is happy, he is healthy, he has the power to let go or heal from any pain and trauma that comes in his life. That's healthy. You know, I'll compare it to somebody going to the gym, somebody who is at the peak of their physical nature. We call them healthy. जिसकी सिक्स पैक एब्स है, जो मैराथन भाग पा रहा है, जो एक बहुत अच्छा बॉक्सर है, आप उसको हेल्दी बोलोगे, उसको आप एक्चुअलाइज बोलोगे कि इसने अपने पोटेंशियल को रीच कर लिया. सो दैट वाज द इंडियन अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ मेंटल हेल्थ. आज की तारीख में एक और अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, वेस्टर्न अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ मेंटल हेल्थ, जिसमें एक प्रेडिकमेंट है आपको, तो मेंटल हेल्थ की एक नेगेटिव कनोटेशन आती है, क्योंकि मेंटल हेल्थ के बाद आता है मेंटल हेल्थ इशू. कि मान लो आपकी एंजाइटी है या आपको डिप्रेशन है, आप दुखी हो और आपको पता ही नहीं आप कैसे डील करने वाले हो उससे. सो मेंटल हेल्थ इज देन कंसिडर्ड अ सेट ऑफ प्रोटोकॉल्स जिसमें somehow I have to accept that I am not same as my peers, as the people around me, and I am in a state of suffering, and I need tools to deal with it. So the tools are not for me to be the best version of myself, but the tools are for me to basically patch a leak that has somehow developed in my mindset. And who would like to accept कि वो कम है? Who would like to accept कि there is something wrong? And that's why हमने कितने सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स रन किए, जहाँ पे हमने फिजिशियंस के साथ काम किया, हमने सोल्जर्स के साथ काम किया, and नाम था मेंटल हेल्थ, सो योगा बेस्ड मेंटल हेल्थ प्रोटोकॉल्स. तो बहुत बार लोग साइन अप ही नहीं करते थे, बिकॉज नोबडी वांट टू एक्सेप्ट कि मेरे अंदर कोई प्रॉब्लम है. फिर उसको हमने चेंज किया, रादर देन कॉलिंग अ मेंटल हेल्थ इशू, वी सेड दिस इज अ रेजिलियंस ट्रेनिंग प्रोटोकॉल. that this is a skill building. जैसे आप रेजिस्टेंस ट्रेनिंग करते हैं, वैसे आपके माइंड को भी रेजिलियंस की ज़रूरत है, बिकॉज वी लिव इन अ chaotic world, and the chaos in the world, in the economy around the world is just becoming more and more complicated. So when the world becomes complicated, we must become more resilient. And what we are teaching now is a resilience training model. So again, I would like to say, for me, mental health is a set of protocols and interventions and beliefs and behavior that help you become the best version of yourself. That's mental health. Yes, ma'am.
Well, apart from our students who are quite understanding and accepting of the fact that yes, mental health is one of the major areas that they need to take care of, we have parents and teachers also here with us who would like to know whether how realistic that can these problems be, because once our children are becoming more aware of these issues and these problems, they tend to take they tend to mold their problems in a way where they can't even explain what they're going through. So, for our parents and teachers, what can be certain symptoms where they can understand that yes, this child may need assistance to improve its mental health?
So, ma'am, basic things like lack of sleep, a lack of attention, um, lack of motivation are all symptoms that there is an underlying issue that we need to deal with, because you have to understand, issues can come out in the form of anxiety, and in today's world anxiety is extremely common because we are living in a world of non-substance abuse, whereas children are exposed to high levels of social media. They are exposed to an information barrage that has never been the case in the history of humanity. So our children are a part of this great big experiment. And if we look at the mental health graphs, we'll see that the graphs tend to go south when the advent of technology happens, when the internet comes and it becomes easily accessible, and then social media comes. So year by year,
Right.
so many efforts go in vain because the children are exposed and are being trained in this manner that is detrimental to their mental health. If we look at short form content, it is leading to a brain rot impact. So yes, our children are more susceptible and vulnerable to these issues, and simple things like a sleep hygiene. If the child is resting enough, if a child is lethargic all the time, if a child is uh, alienated, isolated, if a child lacks motivation or attention or focus, are some of the signs that a teacher can look out for and a parent can look out for. And then rather than scolding the child or screaming at them, that do better, there has to be an understanding of the issue, because many times we've seen the child themselves don't understand what anxiety is, and when that education happens, then they understand, okay, this is what anxiety is. And then once they are educated on the issue, then they must be educated on the intervention, that see, when anxiety comes, then these are the steps you must take, and over a period of time, when you take these steps, you will become much more resilient. So it is not just looking out for those symptoms, that is just half the key. Looking out for those symptoms, then understanding the severity of those symptoms, and then third, having easy access to interventions that can help a child deal with those symptoms. And then finally, follow up. See what's happening. See if the child is evolving. See if the child is coming out of that predicament. If the child is now having proper rest, proper sleep, are those anxious thoughts gone? And that follow up is that cycle that can actually help us take the child to the correct health scope. Yes.
Well, let's move on to the major topic that we have to discuss today. So, while our students, the exam warriors, go through this exam related pressure and anxiousness and nervousness, what is your take on this kind of pressure that is building upon our students? Do you think that it is healthy, or what should be the way? students should approach their exams?
First of all, I would like to tell you that human beings are extremely resilient if the correct training is given. If I take a person who's not trained and I throw him in a battlefield, there are very low chances of survival. But if I give elite training to a soldier, based upon the training that he has received, he adapts, he evolves. So human beings in nature are extremely resilient people. We have survived in the Arctic, even now. In places like Siberia, we live in minus 30-degree temperature. In Sub-Sahara, we live in the upwards of 40 degrees temperature. We live in islands where typhoons are running around all the time. Hawaii, where there are volcanoes. So human beings adapt. Human beings evolve. We are not as soft as we are taught to be. We have to understand this. We are strong. And look at nature provides the tools that are necessary. An eagle needs to hunt. It has the claws, it has the wings, it has the sharp beak. In the same manner, yes, stress is a reality of life and we will deal with stress, but at the same time we have a brilliant brain that can be taught. We have our cardiovascular system, we have our nervous system, which, if the correct skills are given to us, we can learn to control our heart rate, we can learn to control our thoughts, we can learn to focus. It is something that the subcontinent has been a master of. This is our greatest export, knowledge on how to deal with the mind. Since thousands of years, people came to our ancient universities to learn this. So, yes, if you ask me, is stress real? Definitely. But are we incapable to deal with it? No. We have the tools if the correct training is given. Yes, ma'am.
So when you talk about correct training, I would like to know something about how do you think parents play a role, teachers play a role, and what the students themselves need to do in order to increase their resilience?
The key word here is awareness. Awareness. We need to teach students awareness. So, if we talk about meditation, meditation is nothing but learning awareness. So, a simple awareness that every student can be taught by their parents is breath awareness, body awareness, thought awareness, emotional awareness. And again, we have to look at meditation as different than prayer. Do not look at it as a religious activity, because in a religious activity you have a bunch of your problems and you're taking it to a deity and you are asking the deity to solve those problems. So that's fine. That gives us psychological powers like hope and faith. But when you're talking about meditation, internal powers, then it is a very scientific activity. So there, for thought awareness, we must teach a child visualization. So things like ask the child to visualize on how he's giving that exam. He's able to answer all those questions brilliantly and phenomenally. He's writing those exams, and these skills are very powerful skills. Olympic diver coaches use visualization skills before a diver dives in their matches, and it's seen that those divers who visualize themselves first going through that dive perform much better than the one who does not. So, thought awareness can be done through visualization. Emotional awareness can be done through selective awareness of positive emotions. So, a child must be taught to practice gratitude. A child must be taught to practice joy, selective awareness. Tell them to sit and think. Fine, you have 21,000 things to complain about. What can you be grateful about? So before they are writing their exams, or before they are having a panic attack before the examination hall, they can just sit and they can do this gratitude that I'm very grateful that I'm going to give a very good exam, I'm going to have a very good result. And then comes the body and breath awareness. A simple thing that students can do is close their eyes, focus on their breath. Take a full breath in and feel the breath going from their lungs to their whole body. Just feel the body. This is a very powerful tool which was taught in Practices like Yog Nidra. And we have seen this when we work with soldiers suffering from PTSD, that just this awareness of the breath, awareness of the body can really help a student relax and come to the present moment. So something very simple, 10 deep breaths. Sit up quietly, close your eyes, take a deep breath, exhale. Take a deeper breath, exhale. Take a deep breath, feel gratitude, exhale. So these simple things, awareness based meditations, and in those awareness based meditation teach the skill that a student must be aware of his body, physical sensations, his breath in and out. So parent can teach them some pranayams, some yogic breathwork techniques, thought awareness, visualization, and emotional awareness, selective awareness of positive thoughts like gratitude. This is a first step that parents can take to help the students. Yes,
I guess that's a lot of information to take in one go, and we really need to come to one of your workshops to really learn how we can cope up with this kind of stress, especially in these times. You explained us about awareness-based meditation. So I would like you to build upon that. And while we use meditation as one of the tools to calm ourselves down, to deal with the pressure and the anxiousness we are going through, I would like to know what kind of mental and emotional state one should ideally be in while we are trying to meditate.
the correct state would be, in Hindi we say drashta bhav. Drashta bhav means non-judgmental awareness. So that means no excitement if there is a good thought, and no repulsion if there is a bad thought. There is a goal and we focus on it. And a lot of other thoughts will come, and those thoughts may try to excite you, or they may try to create thoughts of melancholy or deviate you from your path. So, people who practice faith-based meditations, they do this. They have a mantra and they have a rosary, and they're just doing the mantra irrespective of all the other thoughts that are coming in, and trying to focus on that one divine thought that they are bringing in. A person who doesn't have faith or is in the route of finding his faith can also practice this. And a simple practice can be that I'm focusing on my breath. Let the other thoughts come, let the other thoughts go. And this leads to a form of self love, kindness, and compassion. Because a lot of times I've seen kids are very hard on themselves because parents and teachers set unrealistic expectations. So even if a negative thought comes, a child feels very guilty. They feel pathetic. Why is it coming? So much so that I've seen children even make meditation competitive. And if they can't meditate, they feel that there is something wrong with them. Whereas non judgmental awareness teaches kindness. Be kind, be compassionate. And what it means, if today I'm having weird thoughts, fine, it's okay, I'm human, this happens. Let's continue the process, and we will reach when we'll reach the destination. So, self love helps, madam, it helps a lot. And I feel this should be the criteria when somebody is trying to meditate. Begin with self love and compassion. you are you are worth it, is what I like to say. Yes,
Yes, I think that is something we have to say to ourselves looking in the mirror every morning.
of course.
Now we'll take up the questions that we're receiving through our social media channels. We have live audience here with us. So the first question comes from West Bengal. Ananya asks us, what are the best ways to balance study, sleep, and relaxation during exam times?
Try to maintain a routine. That will help. Your body adapts to that routine. So try to have a sleep hygiene. And sleep hygiene means that what is the standard time in which you will go to sleep. before that time, try to eliminate any form of blue light. So if you have TVs, cell phones, computers, it disturbs your circadian rhythm. Try to get up in the morning and try to do any cardiovascular activity. So it could be heavy breath work, so yoga based breath work, or it could be anything that raises your heart rate, and it will affect your mind in a positive manner and help you focus during your study sessions as well. This routine where you are taking care of your body through exercise, you are taking care of your sleep through maintaining a sleep hygiene, will help you because you will get a very good night's sleep, and that good night's sleep has a compounding effect on your health and focus. Yes.
Well, yes, we can't deny the importance of routine and discipline in our lives. The next question comes from Tamil Nadu. Karthik asks us, how can a student deal with the fear of failure before an important exam?
Positive visualization. Any thought that you spend more time on, it will become a neuro pathway, it will become stronger and stronger. जब हम मैथ के टेबल रटते थे, जब मैं छोटा था, अब मुझे नहीं पता क्या होता है, तो हम 2 1 2 2 2 4, तो जितनी बार एक चीज़ को आप दोहराओगे, आप रटोगे, वो आपके सबकॉन्शियस में जाकर के बैठ जाएगी. एम्प्टी माइंड डेविल्स वर्कशॉप. आपने अपने आप को टाइम दे दिया, अब आपको डर लगता जा रहा है, लगता जा रहा है, लगता जा रहा है, और हर बार आप उसको रिपीट कर रहे हो. इट इज़ बिकमिंग स्ट्रोंगर, इट्स टेकिंग रूट्स. सो रादर देन दैट, मैंने जो आपको कहा, आप अच्छे से पढ़ाई करो, और फिर अपने अंदर ये जो साइकोलॉजिकल न्यूट्रिशन होता है, होप एंड बिलीफ, इसको जागृत करो थ्रू विजुअलाइजेशन. आप बैठ रहे हो और आप सोच रहे हो कि हाँ, मेरे साथ भी अच्छी चीज़ें होंगी और होनी चाहिए. आई डिजर्व गुड थिंग्स टू हैपन to me. I deserve positive things to happen to me. Try to feel, try to visualize, try to create that vision of the future in which you are succeeding, and try to feel what you are feeling. Bring that feeling into the present moment and then study again. And then this emotion will become your reality. And you will find you have much better tools to deal with the fear that comes. And understand, fear will come. But then the question is your preparation and positivity more than the fear? Then you will succeed. But if your fear is more, then you'll be a deer stuck in headlights. You'll freeze. तो fear बुरा नहीं है, पर आपकी प्रिपरेशन fear से थोड़ी ज़्यादा होनी चाहिए, और जितनी आपकी प्रिपरेशन होगी उतना आप जीतने की सक्षमता रखोगे. Thank you.
Right. Another question comes from Assam. Nidhi asks us, how can students develop resilience to bounce back from poor exam performance?
Resilience to bounce back from poor performance.
Yes.
So I'll say develop resilience, है ना. ऐसा मत सोचो कि this is just to bounce back from poor performance. Just develop resilience. So what resilience here are we talking about? If we are talking about mental resilience, then I would recommend कि आप, अब इसको मैं एक ऐसा एग्जांपल देता हूँ, जैसे वेस्ट के स्कूल्स में फायर की ड्रिल्स होती हैं. फायर ड्रिल्स का मतलब होता है कि वो ऐसे घंटी बजा देंगे फायर अलार्म की, और फिर वो सिखाते हैं कि जब फायर अलार्म की घंटी बजे, बच्चों को एक लाइन में यहाँ जाना है, वहाँ जाना है, ऐसा करना है, वैसा करना है. और क्यों प्रिपरेशन होती है? ताकि कभी अगर गलती से आग लगे, then children know what to do. It's a preparation. That preparation is called resilience. अगर आप सोचो कि आग लग गई, स्कूल भस्म हो गया, फिर मैं कह रहा हूं कि अब मुझे रेजिलियंस सीखनी है, पॉइंट क्या है? तो रेजिलियंस एक स्किल है, एक टूल है, जिसमें आप इरिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ आउटकम अपने पे काम करते रहते हो. सो एक मेडिटेशन प्रैक्टिस आप डेवलप करो. आप रोज सुबह उठो, या फिर रोज सोने से पहले आप 5 या 10 मिनट की एक मेडिटेशन प्रैक्टिस डेवलप करो. उस मेडिटेशन प्रैक्टिस में आप ब्रेथ बेस्ड अवेयरनेस कर रहे हो, आप ग्रैटिट्यूड कर रहे हो, और आप पॉजिटिव विजुअलाइजेशन कर रहे हो. ये चीज़ें आपको रेजिलियंस देंगी. During this meditation practice, हो सकता है if you are suffering from anxiety or fear, those thoughts come on the surface, but you still keep on focusing on your breath, and you will find your mind will start to show you the way on how to deal with said emotions. If these thoughts persist and you feel you are not able to manage them, then you reach out to a teacher or you reach out to a trained professional and then you seek help कि मैंने इतनी मेहनत की और मुझसे नहीं डील हो पाया. But बहुत सारे जो केसेस होते हैं, almost 50 to 60%, वहाँ पे अगर हम एक लाइफस्टाइल मॉडिफिकेशन कर देते, then we have those tools to deal with it. Another thing that can help you bring resilience is faith. Now let me talk about religion and faith, because we have done a lot of research where we have seen that people who do follow faith, means belief in higher power, they are much more resilient than people compared who do not have any faith in their life. There is some beauty about belief in a higher power that gives you the strength to face the challenges as they come. So try to have a place of spirituality in your life. And when I say spirituality, I don't mean आप superstition में पड़ जाओ, आप धागा वागा डाल के एग्जाम करने जा रहे हो. जो हायर पावर है, जो भगवान है, उसके साथ एक रिश्ता बनाओ, एक 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 कम्युनिकेशन रखो, एक प्रेयर रखो, उसको महसूस करो, उसकी शक्ति को ध्यान के दौरान अपने भीतर प्रवाहित होने दो. And this faith will also lead you to become more resilient, because before you then get into a challenging situation, you will pray for strength. When you are in that challenging situation, you'll pray for resilience, and when you'll come out, you'll pray in gratitude. So all these things will help you make a strong mind. So do this, do that, it will help.
That's a very beautiful ray of hope that you've given us of spirituality.
Yes, ma'am.
Another question comes from Uttarakhand. Divya asks us, what are some ways of self-care and how can self-care help me in better academic performance?
Self-care is something as simple as eating healthy. I meet a lot of people who want to do self-care, but then they are putting unnecessary calories into their body. They are torturing their endocrine system with all the junk that they eat. So good nutrition is self-care. Good education is self-care. If you are sitting on the internet and doom scrolling from morning till evening, then you're leading to your own brain rot, and definitely your cognitive awareness will not be to that peak performance where it was. So just being aware simply of what you put inside your system, may it be from your eyes, may it be from your ears, may it be from your mouth, that's the best form of self-care. Then we can go one more level up. You can start to care about your body through exercise, through sleep. When I will sleep, when I will wake up, how much I need to put an effort on my body. Then self-care can be putting effort in your relationships, that being aware of who's toxic in your family, how to manage those toxic relations, who to be grateful to, how to cherish the positive relations, etc., etc. So self-care for me equates to awareness, where you at every step of the way are aware that what I am about to do, is it detrimental for my growth or is it going to help in my growth, and choosing to find the path of positivity. And trust me, Divya from Uttarakhand, was it?
Yes, right.
The path that you take every step every day is much easier than retracing the path back to the point of origin. So a good healthy choice today is much easier than erasing a bad choice of yesterday.
Another question that comes in is from Himachal Pradesh. Tanya asks us that the thing that troubles me the most is last minute exam anxiety. So how can I manage that?
Yes, ma'am. So anxiety is a physiological response to stress. Your heart rate increases, your body starts to go into fight and flight mode, you get overwhelmed by a flush of thoughts. So it becomes extremely important to lower our heart rate to balance our body before we are giving our examinations. So let me teach you a basic, a very powerful meditation technique that you can do when you are uh, about to sit for exams. So this is your hand. So this is called a 4-point breath. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try to count with me. Madam, you also try. 1,
Definitely.
2,
2,
3,
3,
4, 4,
4,
3,
3,
2,
2,
1. Now we
1.
don't speak. We just count in our heads. Now, as we are counting, we take a full breath in and we take a full breath out like this. Full breath in. Now, focus. 1 is the top of the head, 4 is the sole of the feet. So when you are inhaling, your hands are counting, and your breath, you are focusing your awareness from the head down to the sole of the feet. And as you exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, you are taking your awareness back to the top of the head. The most important thing is your breath should be slow and deep, as slow as you can. So let's do this. Close your eyes, close your eyes. Focus on your hands. Your hands are comfortable on your thighs. You're going to count like I taught you: 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to say the count, and with my count 1, 2, 3, 4, you will inhale, and your awareness will go from the head to the sole of the feet. Take a full breath in, deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Head to toe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Toe to head. 4, 3, 2, 1. Slower, as slow as you can now. Last 3 breaths, as slow as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. So when you do this technique, if you do it with both the hands, it will balance your left and right brain. You must have seen long ago the fidget spinners came, and there was a correlation that if you can keep your hands busy, it sort of relaxes your mind, and especially if you're suffering from ADHD, etc. So you don't need a fidget spinner. We have fingers. So use your fingers to count, and then take a deep breath in, deep breath out, focus your awareness. And what this is doing is, this is reducing your heart rate. This is balancing your nervous system. This is relaxing you. And it's very tough to be in a state of anxiety if you are relaxed. And when you are relaxed, you're more focused. Then give the exam. So 2-3 minutes before, right before giving the exam, just do this. Find a corner, close your eyes, center yourself, and then go give a brilliant exam. I'm sure you will do phenomenally. Yes.
Well, that technique, what it did for me was, while I was doing the counts on my hands and I was focusing on my breath, no other thought came to me.
Brilliant. And that's the point, madam. That is the point. To
Yeah,
recenter
so
yourself.
great. So that was very effective. Thanks from my side to you for giving me that. Another question comes from Gurugram. Urvika asks us, hello sir, I am in dilemma what to do after class 12th. I want to do so many things in life. I have no clear goal. How do I have a firm goal?
try to have mentors. That's what helped me, madam. So in India, we have this um, concept of guru, and right now this word has been watered down and quite diluted. But this word guru is a very powerful word. If you try to think of it in the English language, then it's mentor. So what I would suggest, Preeti, is look around in the world. Who would you like to be like? Uh, and don't just go on superficial things like, oh, they are pretty, I want to be like them. Oh, they have so much money, I want to be like them. Look at their mental health. Look at their relationships. Look at how they are bringing value to their society and country. Look at how they are able to succeed. And um, it's quite visible if you do a deep dive research. And then once you have those mentors, then try to walk the path that they guide you towards. And you can't just blindly choose a mentor, and you can't just say that, oh, मेरी मम्मी ने कहा है तो वो मेरा mentor हो गया. सोचो अगर द्रोणाचार्य और अर्जुन की ऐसी रिलेशन होती तो कहाँ महाभारत जीती जाती. तो आपको एक इतना विजडम तो अपने अंदर लाना होगा. अब आप 12वीं पास कर रहे हो और 12वीं तक पढ़ने में आपको इतनी तो गाइडेंस मिली गई होगी, इतने तो अच्छे बुरे की सच झूठ की समझ आ गई होगी कि आप देख सकते हो कि एक बढ़िया मेंटर कौन हो सकता है. और वो मेंटर्स ढूंढो और उन मेंटर्स के रास्ते पे आप चलो. एंड आप फिर जो कुछ भी पाना चाहते हो आपको मिलेगा. पर अगर ये गोल नहीं हुआ, अगर लाइफ में अच्छे मेंटर्स नहीं हुए, तो हम बिन डोर की पतंग के समान है. झोंका आएगा हमें कहीं ले जाएगा. और आज की तारीख में दुनिया बहुत जल्दी बदल रही है. जो चीज़ 20 साल पहले सच थी अब झूठ होने वाली है. आप देखो कितने सारे प्रोफेशंस खतरे में हैं. अब एआई टेक्नोलॉजी पेंडोरास बॉक्स से बाहर आ चुकी है. तो अब एक प्रॉब्लम भी है, साथ में एक अपॉर्चुनिटी भी है. अब आप चुन सकते हो. अ टाइम ऑफ क्राइसिस इज ऑल्सो अ ग्रेट टाइम ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी. 90s के दशक में हर कोई दौड़ दौड़ के इंजीनियर बन रहा था. बट इवन दैट स्केप इज चेंजिंग. The healthcare industry is changing. The mental health industry is changing. Even if you try to look at the Indian wellness, IKS based industries, they are changing. The whole world is now looking towards India for wellness solutions, may it be nutraceutical or may it be lifestyle uh, solutions. So there is a lot of scope. So look around, keep your eyes open, find some mentors, and I'm sure you will succeed. So thank you, Preeti. This is a beautiful question. And देखो इतनी maturity है आपके अंदर कि आप भेड़ चाल में नहीं चल रहे. ये तो पहले ही एक बहुत बड़ा green flag है. So I'm proud of you. Thank you.
Well, there goes the importance of mentors, very beautifully explained. Another question that comes in is from Tripura. Tarun asks us, how can a student overcome the habit of procrastination during exam season?
Find right ways of relaxation. Procrastination occurs when we do not know the difference between numbing and relaxation. So a person may feel if I'm sitting and eating, that's relaxing. No, that's numbing. I'm sitting in front of the television. That's numbing. That's not relaxation. And when a person grows up, we have a lot of problem of substance abuse as well. And when I work with such kids who are into substances, I ask, why do you feel there is a need? And they say, oh, this is our way of relaxing. There's so much stress. And I try to make them understand, how is this relaxation? Relaxation is that state in which your body heals itself. Numbing is the state where the problem still persists, but you are just ignoring that problem for some time. Once that state ends, the problem will be facing you immediately afterwards. So if you are getting stress, examinations are coming, and you're procrastinating by being on the cell phone or watching TV, you're just numbing yourself. This is an addictive behavioral trait that is going to be extremely detrimental in the future. So you must nip it in the bud, because the moment you stop procrastinating, then that stress will return maybe twice as severe, because now time has lapsed and you have still procrastinated. So try to find out ways that actually relax you. Those ways can be sports. Give a healthy time during the day for your physiological health. It could be scripture. Give some time of the day to motivate yourself, inspire yourself by taking a deep dive into history or scripture or literature. Find ways to be inspired. If you live in your cocoon, small little cocoon, you will never be inspired, and you will always find reasons to procrastinate yourself. So inspiration is extremely important. And of course, meditation is a beautiful way where you can learn to relax. And if you relax, then you will not find a need to procrastinate. Yes.
Well, while relaxation is one of the ways, I think another thing that bothers the students is how to improve their concentration. And that's where another question comes in from Delhi. Ayush asks us, how can I improve focus and concentration while studying?
So there is a meditation practice that is done. So it is called Nad Brahm. It's a very powerful exercise. It's this: you take a deep breath in, and before you are about to sit into studies, you close your eyes and you take your awareness to your forehead. And then you take a deep breath in and you exhale with a humming sound. So you try to vibrate the cerebrospinal fluid in your ears, you try to vibrate the liquid in your skull, and you try to focus that vibration to the forehead. So you take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, project that humming sound with your eyes closed to this area, the third eye. So you go something like this. And you stretch the breath as long as you can. You stretch that humming sound as long as you can. Then when you've done it 3 times, then you do fast breathing. Fast breathing to increase your heart rate as much as you can. So think of breathing like a dog, but with the mouth closed. So you're breathing fast. You do that for 30 seconds, then you relax, and then 3 times. You just focus on your forehead, take a deep breath in, and exhale with a humming sound. Try it, madam. Try it. Just close your eyes. Close your eyes. Focus on your forehead. We'll just try it once. Just try it once. Just once. Full breath in. Excellent. How do you feel?
Well, I feel that again, when I'm talking to you, there are a lot of things going on. Once I close my eyes and I just take a deep breath in, it all feels like I'm taking whatever's, surrounding me and I'm just flushing it out.
Brilliant. So, yes, that's something you can do for concentration. Something as simple as 3 times the Nad Brahm, the humming sound projected to the forehead with the eyes closed. Stretch the sound as long as you can and then sit and study. It can help. Yes.
Well, we're coming towards the conclusion of the session, and I would like you to share some personal experience, whether you've had with yourself or some person you've helped coping up with mental health issues or mental health problems or anxiousness. So I would like you to share some example or a certain case study that you've done.
So, madam, I work with a lot of students, and I work with students from around the world, and I work with students from different ethnicities and different cultures and different religious backgrounds, different genders, and different socio-economic status. And what I realize is we're all just human beings. Stress doesn't spare anyone. We think that if certain socio-economic status would be there, doesn't matter if the child's father has a Ferrari or the child's father is a rickshawala. Stress, anxiety, depression, all these things, they spare no one. And every child has to deal with these things. And many times when a parent is providing a lot to the child that probably they did not have, sometimes a thought comes that my child doesn't have the right to be sad because I've given him so much that I didn't have. And when I didn't have, yet I happily did, then how come my son who has is finding reasons to complain? And that's when a child starts hiding, isolating himself. And isolation is a poison. When a child starts to suffer in silence, isolating himself from his peers, from his teachers, and creates this mask of false joy, is when society starts to be impacted with this toll. And this toll we won't see immediately. We will see the impact of this toll in the long term. And that's why it's extremely, extremely important that we start to have a conversation. We start to bring awareness about mental health being a birthright. Just like in our constitution, we have rights. Even we have a right to be happy. We have a right to feel joy. I'm not saying it is our right to not just experience stress. Again, I don't believe in the doctrine of band-aids. It's a very Western concept, and yes, I am trained in the classical Western concept as well, but I am inspired from the Eastern Indian modalities. And in our culture, we believe there is so much more that we can achieve, and each child should reach his true potential. And it's only when we have that conversation is when good things will happen. And I've seen that in my life every single day. If the right tools are provided to the children at the right time, they sure have an opportunity to shine. And not just shine, they have the power to break generational curses of poverty, generational curses of abuse, generational curses of, the list goes on, but they can break those courses. And I've seen that in my lifetimes, and not once but thousands of times. So what I say is what my mentor used to say, what my guru used to say: cure is possible, joy is possible. And I hope you can find that, every single one who is listening to our program. And if anywhere I can be of any help and assistance, I would love to do that.
Well, is there any way that our audience can get in touch with you?
I am available on LinkedIn, madam, under the name Ishan Shivanand. So maybe the audience can find me there.
And in India, do you have any operations in India?
I have started a project with Bharti Vidyapeeth where we are working with lots and lots of medical students, and I will also be starting a project with IIT Roper, yes, where I'll be working with a lot of engineering students as well. I work with Neotech Engineering Institute in Vadodara, and I also work with the Roomta Institute in Raipur. So generally my work is in higher education, but I would love to work or partner, if any time, with the government on elementary levels as well.
Well, that's great to hear. And I hope the audience had a valuable and enriching experience from this session. We got to learn a lot of things from you. I'm extremely grateful that you took out time for us and we have discussed so much in detail. Anything that you would like to add further?
Well, I would like to say to your audience, if you're sitting here, I applaud you. You value your mental health. Please continue on this path, and and I hope you can have a beautiful, divine, prosperous, and happy future. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for joining us.